Hi there, hello and welcome to G Vision Media channel again. This video is all about how to prepare for any bike ride, be it is a long trip or a short trip. What are all the riding rules, what are all the basic guidelines, and some of the important hand signals the rider has to follow. This is very much important for the personal safety and for the safety of other riders as well. It all starts with choosing the suitable bike for the ride, pre-riding checklist and maintenance, mandatory riding gears, riding rules, riding guidelines, additional tips that you need to know, and the basic hand signals. Let us now see all of these in detail. In today's world, there are many styles of motorcycles available in the market. So not all are suitable for all the rides. Some of them are suitable for long rides, some of them are suitable for short rides. All these motorcycles differ in terms of the riding position, how much luggage and baggages that we can carry, whether the windshield is available or not. The first set of motorcycles are the touring motorcycles. These are very comfortable for long journey, particularly when you are riding for long hours and you have to sit for long and ride. And these are very comfortable. We have an upright position for sitting and it will produce only very less strain on your back. So saddlebags, trunk area, extra pockets are all available in this type of motorcycles. They do have a large windscreens and that will move the air from around and it will be very smooth cruising that you will have. If you are planning a long journey and too many miles to cover, then touring motorcycles are the best, but they are pretty much expensive as well. Some of the examples of these motorcycles are Harley Davidson Electra, Honda Goldwing, as well as Kawasaki Conqueror, some of them. Okay, now the second set of motorcycles are the cruiser motorcycles. These are very good motorcycles for both long as well as for short journeys. Okay, so particularly these motorcycles have a relaxed seating position and they will have a lower seats as well, and it is very good for long rides. And these motorcycles also support saddlebags, tank bags, front pouch, etc. And the particular important thing is the windscreens of these cruiser motorcycles are customizable. You can have a small one or a large one based on whatever you want to have. By design, these cruiser motorcycles do not have large mirrors or large trunk bags like what we see in the touring motorcycles. There are plenty of cruiser motorcycles available in the market. Harley Davidson Lowride S, Indian Challenger, Honda Rebel 300. These are some of the motorcycles in this category. Particularly in the Indian market, there are plenty of cruiser motorcycles. To name a few, Royal Enfield Classic 350, Meteor 350, Bullet 350, Interceptor. All these are all cruiser motorcycles from Royal Enfield. Apart from that, we do have Honda Highness, Java, Bajaj Avenger series as well as the cruiser motorcycles in India. Next is the adventure or dual sport motorcycles. These motorcycles are also called as street bikes or dirt bikes. Primarily they differ in terms of the size of the cylinder and the number of cylinders they have. So in terms of the journey, they are good only for both on-road as well as for off-road. They have an excellent ergonomic seating position and they will not put any strain on your back or to the wrists. These bikes can be upgraded to accommodate any luggages for your journey, but the windscreen is very small compared to other two categories that we saw in the earlier. They have a fair amount of protection from wind, but there are no large screens or no large mirrors, but there is no trunk bag as well for these motorcycles. Again, there are many motorcycles in this category. They are some of them are Ducati, and some of them from Kawasaki, and even Royal Enfield Himalayan. And also there are KTM series of bikes as well in this category. Last but not the least, here are the last set of motorcycles which are called as sports motorcycles. So there are multiple different views in terms of how they are comfortable for long journey rides or not. Predominantly they are least enjoyable bikes for long or short distance riding. They do have an forward leaning position which makes it uncomfortable for riding on the roads. So these are perfect for race tracks, but on the roads when we are on a long journey it's going to be very uncomfortable. These bikes can be upgraded for luggages but not that much like the other segments that we saw. There are no saddlebags, no extra pockets, no windscreens, and they do not have the trunk bags. Some of the bikes in this segment include Yamaha YZF, Bajaj Pulsar, and the KTM series of bikes with the RC series, and TVS Apache as well. So, which bike to choose for the ride? So here are the top priorities: touring, cruiser, adventure or dual, and then the sports motorcycle. But always you can choose based on your riding style and whichever you are very comfortable with. But the overall journey should be safe and comfortable as much as possible. Now that you have decided on the bike, the next important thing is the pre-ride checklist and the maintenance of the vehicle. This is utmost important to check all the major components in the vehicle, top to bottom, starting from the engine, filters, batteries, cables, tires, chains, all the lights, turn signal indicators, and even the nuts and bolts. The engine should be in the tip-top condition. So start the engine and run it idle for at least 5 minutes and then check the oil level and viscosity. If needed, you'll have to top it up. The next one is the filters. Review all the filters, air filters, oil filters, and if it repaired, wash it, clean it properly and put it back. If it is worn out, change it completely. Nowadays almost all the vehicles do not have kickstarts. They are all electrically powered engines. So checking the battery is the next important thing. Ensure there is no dirt piled up around the batteries that may result in discharge of the battery quickly. Check all the cable connections of the battery, the main wirings, clippings, clamps, everything is properly fitted in. Once the batteries are done, check the throttle cables, brake cables, clutch cables, and ensure they are lubricated properly and it works properly. Coming to the tires, the tread level is utmost important. Check the safety bar line for the wear and tear of the tires. Another important thing on the tire is the pressure of the tire. While checking the pressure of the tire, consider the total weight of the rider plus pillion as well as the baggage that you are carrying. The next one to check is the chain. Find both the tight spot and the loose spot and then adjust the chain to the correct tension. Regarding the light and turn signal, start from high beam, low beam, passes, right turn, left turn, brake lamp and all other lamps if you have any. Check one by one properly if they are lit properly and the switches are working fine to control these lights. Don't neglect the nuts and bolts, starting from suspension bolts, handlebar bolts, mirror bolts, luggage mounts, chain brackets, chain guards, spoke nuts, stand bolts, seats, everything. And for the most important thing regarding the maintenance, always use genuine spares, lubricants, oils as recommended by your manufacturer. Always follow the maintenance instructions and the steps provided in the user manual without fail. Now the bike is ready and safe to ride. Let us now focus on the riders. The following are the mandatory riding gears. The first one is a full face helmet. The full face helmet with the jaw guard as well as the visor is more important. Next important thing is the riding jacket. Any riding jacket that protects you from any scratches or damages to the body as well as dirt, wind and bad weather conditions A pair of gloves to protect your palm, fingers is also mandatory. Now that we have protected our upper body, we will concentrate on the lower body. The next one is the riding trousers. Ensure that you have a full riding trouser. Don't wear any half trousers or 3/4. Those are not recommended for riding. The next one is the hard boots. Hard boots are important, that protects all your ankles, foot. The last important thing as a mandatory riding gear is the knee guard. So why are all these mandatory riding gears important? It's for your safety and protection. Okay, now all set for the riding. Let's get into the rules and regulations while riding. So the first important riding rule is about intoxication. Any form of intoxication while on the motorcycle is not allowed. So these are the recommendations from any motor riding club or even the manufacturers itself. So next one is the conduct. So every rider and the participant is expected to conduct themselves in a manner that preserve their dignity and others around them. So they should not be showing any wrong attitude as well, because you will get riders from multiple different cultures and customs. One should respect that, show a good attitude and gesture. Environmental responsibility is also one of the rules. Maintain the sanity of the region that we are passing through and avoid any usage of plastics, and do not throw the litters anywhere around. Medical advice. If you are under any medical treatment, you should follow the medical advice very strictly while you are in the ride or while you are staying there anywhere during the ride. Safety first. Riders and pillion must always wear a full face helmet while riding. Riders must maintain adequate safety distance from other riders. This is a very important step or an important rule that we have to follow. The last rule is regarding the documentation. The rider should always carry the registration certificate, a valid driving license and a valid insurance document. They can even carry these documents in the digital format also. All these rules are provided in a separate document and available in the link below. You can go through them and you can download them when you are starting a new ride. And the link to this is available also in this page on the top right corner. We now know all the riding rules. Let us now see what are all the riding guidelines. The riding guidelines here cover about how to ride when you are in a group ride, and the traffic signals that you need to obey, and what are all the hand signals that needs to be followed, and also what are the things that you should avoid while overtaking. You can spend some time here to go through them. You can also download them from the link provided here as well as in the description. Here are some of the simple tips that you have to take care for your long ride or a short ride. So taking long breaks, considering the speed that you are running, preparing for an early start of the ride, making your plan flexible, checking the bikes periodically, carrying additional spares, and also carrying the weather protection kit, taking a GPS map with you, and also a personal kit. Hand signals. Hand signals are very important, which will make the ride more disciplined. There are many hand signals. Let us look at the hand signals that are specific to the riding. The first one is the follow me signal. The next one is the single line formation. The next one is the two line formation signal. And the last one is the turn indication. The another set of hand signals are specifically for stopping. While we are riding, how do we stop our vehicles? The first one is the indication to slow down. The next one is an indication to pull off. When you have to have a comfort brake, you have to use the third signal. Any refreshment brake can be indicated using this fourth signal. And the last one is specifically for filling up the fuels. We have now pretty much covered in detail on how to prepare for the ride. Hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and families as well. Do comment and subscribe to our channel without fail. Thank you very much.